The rain falls in a slow, steady rhythm against the window, a kind of soft tapping that feels almost intentional, as if the world itself is waiting for him to speak. Michael J. Fox sits quietly, fingers interlaced, gaze fixed on something distant, something far beyond the room, far beyond the moment. And then, in a voice worn by years of challenges and triumphs, he says the words no one expects. "I've been thinking about my funeral," he murmurs. "And there's someone I don't want there." The sentence hangs in the air like a held breath. Not sharp, not angry, just honest. So honest it sends a ripple through the silence. Who would a man known for grace, humor, and forgiveness choose to keep out of his final goodbye? And why now, at 64, does he feel compelled to say it? To understand, you have to look back to the places where his life shifted, cracked, rebuilt, and transformed. Picture a young Michael on the set of Family Ties, laughter echoing across the neon-bright studio. He moves with the confidence of someone whose dreams are unfolding in real time. But even then, behind the jokes and the charm, there is a quiet pressure. The hours are long, the expectations enormous. And the people around him, some become lifelong friends, others don't. He remembers one person in particular. Someone who came into his orbit during those hectic years, someone who smiled in all the right moments, but whose support was always conditional, dependent on his success, his fame, his spotlight. At the time, he brushed off the uneasiness. He was young. He wanted to believe the best in everyone. Cut to years later, a hospital hallway, harsh fluorescent lights overhead. He's in his early 30s, gripping a piece of paper that feels heavier than it should. A diagnosis: Parkinson's. The kind of news that doesn't just change your life. It changes the way you see every face around you. He calls the people closest to him. Some cry. Some rush to his side. And then there's the one who doesn't. The one who offers a short, uncomfortable message, then drifts away. The one who couldn't handle him without the shine of fame attached. It's that moment, Michael says, that taught him something painful. Not everyone who stands with you in the sunshine will stand with you in the storm. Over the years, he learns to accept the disease, to rise above it, to advocate for others, to find purpose in the struggle. But he also learns to value authenticity, to hold close the people who stay, and let go of the ones who only pretend to a memory surfaces. A charity event. Hundreds of guests. Cameras flashing. Amid the crowd, he sees that same person from years before, the one who disappeared when things got hard. They approach him with a wide smile, arms open, as if nothing ever happened. They want a moment, a photo, a story to tell. Michael smiles politely, but inside, something shifts. Not anger, not bitterness, just clarity. He realizes that his life no longer has space for people who treat him as an accessory rather than a human being. Years later, sitting with his family at their cabin, fire crackling, soft laughter filling the air, he talks about end-of-life plans, not morbidly, but with acceptance. And he says it plainly: "I want only the people who carried me when I needed it most. The ones who were there for the hard days." It isn't about exclusion for drama. It's about protecting peace. He doesn't want his funeral to become a stage where someone from his past can perform grief they never truly felt. He imagines that moment, family gathered, stories shared, love filling the room like warm light. He wants sincerity. He wants truth. And he knows exactly who doesn't belong in that sacred space. He leans back now, in the present, eyes soft but unwavering. "I've forgiven them," he says. But forgiveness doesn't mean giving someone access to your final chapter. The words resonate, deep, simple, and undeniable. Michael has always been known for optimism, for resilience, for turning hardship into hope. But this revelation isn't about resentment. It's about boundaries. It's about choosing who deserves a seat at the table when your story reaches its final scene. He pauses, letting the thought breathe. "We spend so much of our lives trying to please people who won't show up for us when it matters," he continues. "And at the end, I want the room filled with the people who loved me, not the people who loved what I represented." The rain outside slows, tapping softer against the glass, almost echoing the quiet truth of his words. He doesn't name the person. He doesn't need to. The identity is less important than the lesson itself. Your last goodbye should belong to those who walked with you through the darkest nights, not those who only appeared in the brightest spotlight. The question lingers, growing heavier with every heartbeat. When your final moment comes, who do you want in the room? And, maybe more importantly, who do you want to keep out? Michael smiles then, warm and grateful, as if letting go of a weight he carried for decades. Life's too short to give the wrong people a front row seat, he says quietly. Even at the end. And with that, the mystery becomes a mirror, reflecting not just his truth, but a truth we all must one day face.